Здравейте, банда, и добре дошли на поредния епизод в разигрането на Black Mirror 3. Така силен старт, директно от деня
It's blood.
работник е бил смазан.
Greg's blood. I just can't believe he's dead. Killed by a skull. Unbelievable. And what's this here? Black mildew? Strange. I always thought mildew grew in dark and airless places. Funny to
Интересно.
find it growing here in this well-ventilated spot. The castle really seems to be slowly decaying. It's high time it was renovated.
Да.
An even better idea would be to fumigate it thoroughly.
Кое е това бутилка? Той е търкал
Is
нещо.
this the stuff Greg wanted to use to clean the facade?
Може и там в една стая да я
It's
ползва.
an industrial cleaner. I've only seen as many warning notices as this on bottles of acid. I'll take it. And the brush as well. There sure is enough cleaning to do around here. A cleaning kit. A friendly loan from the craftsman. Can I ask you something briefly? Perhaps you should have a look at the abandoned house. I think there are some strange things going on there.
I see. What kind of things?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think people are tortured there.
Okay. What else would people do in an abandoned house in the woods?
Why does no one take me seriously here?
You want me to read your statement out to you again? Bloody rituals, ancient curses, a mysterious order, and a murderous twin sister.
Never mind.
Да,
Forget
днес
it.
не звучи малко фантасмагорично. Така е.
Do you know the story of the Gordon brothers, Marcus and Mordred?
No, but I know the story of Tom and Bobby, and that's enough for me.
Okay. Goodbye, Constable.
Добре. И в коста.
Steve,
Yeah?
can you tell me exactly how the accident happened?
The stone skull from up there hit Greg.
Yes, I thought so. But how could that happen?
I don't know. Greg was on his own out here. He was gonna clean the facade, like you said. Perhaps he took a break for a little pee, and when he was walking under the skull, bang!
I guess the ancient stone had been weakened by the fire. It just broke off. Maybe the vibrations of the drill shook the wall, and then the loose chunk simply fell down.
You can tell yourself that if you like, but if you ask me, nothing happens here just like that. This castle is jinxed, and everyone knows it. The walls are alive. When we bricked up holes, they were there again the next day, and it was just like that with the skull. It was just waiting for someone to stand under it before it fell down. That's how I see it.
good,
Please
yeah.
don't be offended, sir, but I don't want to be next.
What does that mean, Steve? Are you quitting?
Yeah. I'm sorry, sir, but I should have listened to my wife. She didn't want me to work here from the very beginning. Better to work for Murray without paid breaks than in the Black Mirror Castle without a head. That's what she said, and I should have listened to her.
Steve, please, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. And if I may give you some advice, find someone to buy the castle off you. Some rich acquaintances of yours from America. And until then, don't stand still under a stone skull.
Не мога го подадеме, малко. Значи Тръмп ще да го купи, няма проблеми. Или на Епстин хората. Че да ни хорат чак до някакъв си остров. Така. Yeah.
I don't know what this thing is called, but Steve, it's big, heavy, and makes a terrible noise. Tim Taylor would say, a real man's toy. It has a gas motor, but the gauge says the tank's empty.
Добре.
There's a whole load of gas cans here, all empty. That's a shame. But I'll take one with me. I may be able to fill it up somewhere.
Ясно къде. Имам и Маркуч. Ясна стана работа. Чакай да я сглобя. Може би по-нататък.
I should get some gas first before.
Дайте да говорим с лошия полицай. Той само това чака този мръсния кавал.
Inspector,
Може да ме е бава.
I'm sure there are a few questions you want to ask me.
А, не беше Випс.
I can actually predict what your answers are going to be. I know you, and I'm sure you'll have a watertight alibi.
Yeah, I was with Dr. Winterbottom anyway. Exactly as set out in my bail conditions. Ask your constable.
Bravo! A cast iron alibi. You see, I didn't even have to waste my breath talking to you. I'll just have a look around here in this big castle full of old works of art that must be worth a fortune. I'll find out what I need to know from wandering around this huge estate, Mr. Legacy Hunter.
That's enough! I'll have no more of your insults. I don't know what you're busy figuring out in that miserable little skull of yours, and I don't want to know. I'm not any old castle creeper fumbling around aimlessly and who takes the blame for everything bad that happens. I am a landowner and the master of Black Mirror Castle, a powerful lord. And what are you? A small-time disgraced
Superiority комплекс има този определено. Зато и всички ги е нарязал.
Okay, Adrian.
О, ние го изрекахме всичко това. Мислех, че само си го мисля.
Sir Adrian Gordon to you from now on. And don't come nosing around here again until you've got a search warrant.
О, вау. О, вау.
Wow, that was long overdue.
Окей, интересно.
I won't take this anymore from anyone.
I'm not just anyone, I'm a Gordon.
О,
And not just any of them, I am the only one. The last of the weakling Marcus line will be the first of the mighty Mordred line.
Ата взеха да стават много така.
From now on, I'm alone in the castle. Nobody else here. At last, I can have some peace. Nobody wants anything from me, no alibi, no money, nothing at all.
Нещата станаха много интересни, много
I
изкривени.
mean, apart from my ancestor, who just wants to take ownership of my body. I
Да,
better not
apart from
waste any
this.
more time in finding out what Victoria meant when she said all that stuff about the Meniers. What did I just say? Nobody wants anything from me.
Един кой е звънка.
What's that? Oh, I guess someone rang at the front door.
Добре, хайде. Хайде. Къде беше? Не.
What have we here? More mail.
Дали не е ключа от тази?
A letter from Murray? What does that creep want again?
Може да е
We
пратила.
will charge 100 pounds a day for as long as the hotel key has
кавал.
not been returned. A bill for over 500 pounds for 5 days? What, was I staying at the Willow Creek Hilton?
Трябва да отида да взема пари.
I think this is one of the stand-in stones Victoria meant. I drew this during one of my sessions with Dr. Winterbottom. It's an approximation of the constellation I saw in my dream.
Не. Добре, дайте да отидем пред този кавал. Замъка, защо стана така? Може би заради теле.
Gordon's Palace. I wonder if Murray even has the right to use that name. But I've
Probably.
still got the hotel key, and I'd love to rub the old crook's nose in it in person.
Няма да видим.
Hello, Murray.
It's always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Golden.
Mr. Gordon. Ha! So the fact that I'm the last descendant of the famous noble family hasn't escaped you.
Indeed, the whole village is talking of nothing else.
So you will also be aware that not only does the name belong to me, but also the entire Blackmere estate.
My warmest congratulations on your wonderful inheritance, and naturally, my sincere condolences for the loss of your dear grandmother.
Great-grandmother. And you can keep your dumb pleasantries for your tourists, the last who come and stay with you. In fact, I'm thinking of turning the castle into a hotel. A veritable Gordon's Palace. Everything here you've stolen, even the name. I could sue you for that, Murray. Is that clear? And I think I might just do that.
I admit, Mr. Gordon, we may have had some little differences of opinion, but you won't forget,
Малко
will
сме
you, that I have
опиянени сме
always
с
helped you.
нашата
It was
власт.
I who got you out of jail, and it is also me you have to thank that you didn't freeze to death in the woods. As you were lying there, unconscious, I sent Phil to you and got him to bring you to the hotel. As a man of honor, are you going to repay that with a petty legal dispute?
Your so-called willingness to help is nothing more than a cynical maneuver. Someone has to put a stop to your game once and for all. Don't forget the photos from your cupboard that clearly prove you've been using blackmail to supplement your pocket money. You'd be finished if I made that public.
Mr. Gordon, I appeal to our friendship.
Check friendship.
You're nothing but a miserable parasite that gorges itself on the blood of its host. I've been your host for too long. Not anymore. I'll make sure you won't find another poor sap you can bleed dry.
Този е много ядосан дух.
Parasite. How long do you think you can hold out against me? You worm. Huh?
Wow.
And I'll look on you as you're destroyed and take delight in your pain. And one day you'll also wake up in a cellar next to dead bodies. If you wake up at all. Have a nice life.
What?
I showed him. He who'll take care not to spoil my plans again. How easy it is. Just exert a little pressure, and the whole world buckles before you.
Тук превода не е добър. Exert a little pressure, защо не беше преведен като
Could
хората.
I next teach the meaning of fear? Tom, or maybe the tattooed fellow inmate, or the amusing old
ние сега ще ходим да ги
wench who
плашим ли?
always runs away when she sees me. These annoyances must be eliminated right away. I wonder why I haven't asserted myself before. To live by pure hatred.
Малко ridiculous почна.
Doesn't sound like me at all.
Да тая
More
тук
like what Victoria said about Mordred when he started to change. He didn't trust anyone and became more and more hostile. Damn. I've really got to pull myself together.
Не бе, че вече звучиш смешно.
There are a few steps leading down by.
Добре бе, ама тук...
I drew this during one of my sessions with Dr. Winabottom.
Добре.
The constable's convertible. Equipped with regulation light and repair kit.
Окей, ще му откраднем ли колелото на полицая? Това вече ни тотално станахме тук дирибей.
I'm sure Zach won't mind if I borrow his repair kit.
Еми, окей. Кой има вътре?
I've borrowed a repair kit from the constable. She doesn't seem to be in. Hey, where's that skinhead gone?
Да не си изпросим боя само.
Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
Where's Spooner?
He's taken the rest of the day off. I think the accident at the castle has taken it out of him.
Poor guy.
Добре.
Do you have any idea where Matt went to? I didn't see him in the village.
He was in the pub yesterday, but where is he today? Don't know. You could submit a missing persons report.
In the next life, maybe.
Точно за него не.
Constable, do you know what I'm doing right now? I'm looking for demonic portals. They were built here before the Holy Ghost had even dared think of Jesus.
Ah, yes. Well, happy hunting.
Goodbye, Constable.
Hmm.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
Добре.
Still closed.
Ето е лекарката. Ами я да видим сега тук. Public Masturbator Trench Coat.
Doctor,
What's troubling you, Adrian?
this curse, it really exists.
Adrian, you mustn't convince yourself of that kind of thing.
I've officially lived in the castle since this morning, and we've just had our first death. A workman. That just can't be a coincidence.
Oh,
Catch you later.
take care.
Оу! Я видим Денис.
No, I think I should let Denise work it.
Я с Едуард. Дали него ще го
How you
наредим?
doing?
Wonderfully. What can I do for you, sir?
You and Denise are engaged.
Yes, our families have been friends for generations. We spent our childhood together, and we will spend the rest of our lives together, God willing.
God willing. And you? Is that what you want?
Of course. Denise's father has already made me manager of the cafe.
Well, that's certainly a reason.
It's a huge responsibility, but waiting tables means a lot to me. It gives me great joy to serve our customers.
Let me guess. You'd rather have become a butler.
Indeed, sir. But the position in the castle was already taken. Besides, Denise's father needed a successor for his business.
Я стане бутлър при нас.
You actually wanted to work in Blackmere Castle?
Yes, sir. But her ladyship chose Sally instead of me. I still don't understand why.
Sally lost her life in the fire. You should be happy you didn't get the job.
Perhaps, sir, if you say so.
I'd better be going.
Please do us the honor again soon, sir.
Добре.
No, I don't really... No, I think I should let...
Нещо
later.
друго?
Later.
Добре. Ами то няма... Не. Как успях да цъкнем?
I don't want a beer, nor am I in the mood.
Нали това е края, няма да мръдне. Не, добре, окей. Нека да отидем да вземем бензин. Кирил, тук ли беше?
I've no idea.
Не. От... Както и да е. Какво направиха... Към колевата нещо, може да се говоря с него.
I'll leave Ralph in peace.
Не искам тук за сега. Не искам тук. Искам да отидем... Под гората и е тук така. И е тук така. Така. Найс. Не бе. Ей, то пък са цялата анимация ще се изпълни. Да. Айде сега пак. Така. Да. Да видим сега какво ще става.
I can use the hose to suck the gas out of the tank. I have a can, too. Let's do it.
Добре, давай.
The can is half full. That should be enough.
Добре, окей.
There's a dent in the hood. The tank's empty. That seals the car.
Не, тук всичко е наред.
Before I go,
Какво?
I'd better look in on Phil again.
Я. Той умрял, бе.
Jeez!
Или са прави? Според мен са прави, сега ще издем голям бой.
Phil is dead. I can't tell how he died. Maybe it's my fault. Anyway, I locked him up and maybe he died from extreme hunger and thirst. But wait a second. I locked the cellar door when I left, and it was open when I came back. Someone must have been here in the meantime. No. There's a rotting...
Интересно.
No. There's a...
Толкс. Който умрял. Се случва се
I
на
don't want to
всеки.
see the torture video. A pile of junk if ever I need anything like that.
Билета?
It'll stay locked for now.
Окей. Добре де, ама... Не сега точно какво трябва... Добре де.
I drew this during...
Как да ги отбележа на картата? С молива, най-вероятно. Мислех, че само е така трябва да направим, а вижте не, най-вероятно е молива. Иначе така.
I think this is one of the stand-in stones Victoria mentioned. They should point to the entrance, but where and how?
Това е малко странно ми идва.
An empty letterbox.
Добре. И как? Ето тук има още един.
I think this is one of the stand-in stones. I think this is one of the stand-in stones Victoria... I think this is one of the stand...
Добре, два станаха. Ние търсим 6, там още един. 3. 4.
Hello, my
One
friend.
of the stand-in stones Victoria mentioned. They should point to the entrance, but
Здрасти, Exist Disappoint. Добре дошъл, добър ти ден. Как е? Добре. Тук има ли? Не. Тук няма да има, защото... Чакай да отидем да търкаме, бе. Чакай да търкаме малко. Всичко е наред. Всичко е наред.
a ladder.
Горе. Нещо тук има ли променено? Той каза, че няма да слиза долу, нали?
It's as gloomy.
Тока, кофата...
The bucket is half full of a white... A power socket.
Добре. Ама чакай, бе, той каза, че водата кристализира. Добре, чакай малко сега. Първо, искам да отида тук така да изтъркам. Аре, бе.
What are these marks? It looks like mildew. Ugh. What are these marks? It looks like... Construction foam. Construction foam.
Няма нищо интересно.
In the corner, there's a richly ornamented...
Значи нещо единя...
It's a roll of damp proof. The craftsman should really... I guess that's no big deal. I'll leave it here. If I...
Дайте тогава да отидем да налием трелката... Бенц. Да видим какво ще стане сега. И ние ли ще пробиваме? Все пак уикенд е, време е за ремонт. Време се е за ремонт. Вземай. Ама къде трябва да пробивам, не знам.
Pretty heavy.
Вот. Какво и къде трябва да пробивам? Чакай малко, лампата пак ли светна? Да. И тук май.
Looks like it's...
Не. Ние с дрелката ще разбием вратата, бе. Нали? Горе. Аз така мисля. Важното е на съседите. Да, не, то е важно къде и какво. Ако може да е в банята, за да се чува абсолютно навсякъде и във възможно най-твърдата носеща колона. Да. Да, бе. Няма.
The door is locked.
Тук няма. Много интересно. Добре, тогава дайте да идем пияната. Пияната да таковаме. Долу в мазето. Стане нещо. Не, добре. Една много бърза биопауза и продължаваме. Добре, много интересно стана тук, бе. А... Добре, бе, как да ги начертая? Защото той нали каза... Той това казва.
I drew this during one of my sessions with Dr. Winterbottom. It's an approximation of the constellation I saw in my dream.
Значи е тук, ли? Да, мога да ги отбележа на картата. Yes. Единия ще е тук долу. И според мен е това... Ама как да тръгна да ги отбелязвам, не знам.
I think this is one of the standing stones Victoria mentioned.
Ето как, добре. Тя зато и картата се промени, да.
Maybe the layout of the Manias is important.
Да.
I'll note it down on my map. I'll lay a piece of paper on the map and use it to note down all the important information.
Така. Добре.
I'll mark the position of this Mania with a cross.
Те станаха два. Три. Ние сигурно ще трябва да отидем до това. До манастира.
I've now
Така.
drawn in 3 Manias.
Добре. Ето го и този големия.
That's the 4th one.
Добре. Десно. От тук всичко е взето. Това ли е? Това за какво ми
I've
е?
borrowed a repair kit from the constable. I've borrowed...
Добре, я. Добре. Това трябва ли не?
It's a roll of I guess I'll leave it here.
Не. Добре, дайте да отидем тогава в стаята за чай. Много ми е интересно. Защо това още стои, малко?
What are these? It looks like mildew.
Съм напръска нещо. Той каза fumigated.
A cleaning kit. A friendly loan.
Не. Не.
Oh look, a fine. Oh look, a fine piece of English workmanship.
Трёка. Ето това. Не. Не знам.
That is a mighty fine and...
Добре. Дайте да отидем тогава до манастира. До църквата ли? Тя е църква. И да говорим. И така иначе не сме идвали тук от смъртта на прабаба ни.
Hello, Father.
Ето.
Welcome to my church.
Давай се.
I'd like to hear the story about Marcus and Mordred again.
My pleasure. Marcus struck down his brother Mordred in a duel in the year 1213. After that, in order to atone for his actions, he had this church built here on pagan ground. A few years later, he also built the academy, also on pagan ground. It was to be used to house the Gordon Chronicles, so the curse could be researched by academics. But the academy was completely burned to the ground in 1512. Most of the chronicles were destroyed. Everything that could be recovered was brought here, to the church.
Right, but all of these stories always begin with Marcus killing his brother. Does no one know the cause of the dispute?
Well, there are various theories.
Еми не, един е носил гъбички, обувките на другия с гъбички, гъбичка му го е заразила и цял живот с миризливи крака след ти. Как да не го убиеш?
Which is pretty much the same thing, right? Basically, it's about the fact that Marcus Gordon, the more religious and stable brother, won. Mordred is depicted as a godless sinner who's burning in hell to this day.
Може и да не
Do
е
you
тъй
know
точно.
if the brothers were born here?
Криминално.
Probably not. Both were tireless crusaders in the name of the church. But why they built a castle here in Willow Creek can only be speculated on. Perhaps they freed the land of non-believers and the castle used to be a kind of keep.
Долу може да е бил техния господ на non-believers, на паганите.
The land by the church as a reward for their support in the Crusades.
Thank you, Father. I'd like to hear the story about Marcus and Mordred again.
My pleasure. A few years later, it was but the
Right,
Чакай, това вече го четахме.
The brothers were born here?
But perhaps or they were.
Thank you, Father.
Ами, не знам, може и това да е. Я тук.
Miss Antolini, Victoria's nurse, what do you know about her?
She was sent by the diocese. They have very well-trained nursing staff, competent and trustworthy.
You didn't know her personally?
I know the manageress of the diocese, Mrs. Puft. She's the wife of the brother of the mayoress.
Те всички са свързани тук.
Her sister-in-law.
Yeah, but you've never met Miss Antolini.
I saw her a couple of times when I visited Lady Victoria. Made a nice impression.
I'm the last Gordon. Sounds like the last Mohican. What does that actually mean to me?
My son, you don't have to remain the last one. It's up to you whether it's the end of your lineage or a new start.
So, if I should decide to become a Catholic priest, then it would pretty much be the end.
You can still think about it. Your inheritance isn't just of a spiritual kind, it's also material. There's also the Black Mirror estate to manage. Presumably also the one in Wales. A huge responsibility, but also a huge gift.
And what about your church? It was built by Marcus Gordon, so it must belong to me now too?
The gift isn't that huge. Marcus Gordon built it, but he was also a loyal son of the church and always gave everything back that he got from it. Wormhill Church belongs to itself, and, of course, the people here.
Father Frederick, I found a letter here, a very old letter. Please have a good look at it.
But it's from the Vatican. From Pope Innocent III himself.
Директно Бойко Борисов го е написал. Писмото.
Do you know how valuable this is?
You mean if I auctioned it, I'd
С
get
от
a
царя
few
на
bucks for it?
Делян Пеевски се е подписал.
Yes, a few suitcases full. But I didn't mean the material worth. Pope Innocent is regarded as the most important pope of the Middle Ages. He called out the Fourth and Fifth Crusades and formulated the foundations of the pontificate, which is still used today. If this is an original letter from Pope Innocent, then it's a very extraordinary document, a dictum of trust from the Church to your family ancestors. You can be really proud of your family.
Wow, that's the first time I've heard that.
Until now, I always thought it was a rumor. But you've got it here in black and white. Your family has been personally chosen by the Pope to fulfill an important duty.
Sounds more like they were damned by it to me. It's quite obvious that this duty outgrew them pretty quickly.
We're all tested by God, and it's a challenge for every one of us. But only steadfast faith can lead us through the darkness to the light in the end.
Много интересно, но нищо. Добре.
Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
Няма нищо интересно тук обаче. Така. Тук няма абсолютно нищо интересно.
I'll leave him in peace for now. Hello? No one there.
Абе, тук...
Pane of glass is loose. Huh, I'll take it with me.
Вижте, бях забрал за това. Ха-ха! Че за какво ли ще ни е това? Да го сложим долу в... Ама за какво? Ще сме...
Perfect. Now the bucket has a glass bottom. Добре. Окей, да. Няма проблеми. This is Sally's grave.
Да. Тази... така, сега, чакайте малко тук. Отворил ли е магазина, бе?
Still closed.
Пак. Тук са всички.
No, I don't really need...
Добре. Иначе няма какво да правим. Отиваме се в замъка. Да търсим другите ми хиляди са. Така. Сега. Понеже не ги помня къде са всичките, на абсолютно всичките места в замъка.
Yes, of course.
Айде!
They built the castle around a Minia. They probably carved the foundation stone directly out of the Minia when it had to be hidden. I'll mark it on my map.
Така. Дайте сега да видим. Тука. Не. Някъде друга е скрит, къде? Чакай малко. Да не е в статуята на оная, бе. Не. Може да я почистим. Дайте да я почистим, каза, че мръсна била горката. Вижте какво е. Направо се едно е копала цял ден на това на градината.
Wow, this cleaner is really powerful. It's even removing the marble. That was painted to look like marble. The statue's actually made of, I bet it's some sort of local stone. Granite, maybe. The statue is actually made out of wood.
И сега?
I should have thought of that earlier.
Ето го, батко!
The statue was made out of the same stone as the other Minias. And someone, at some point, carved a statue out of it. I've marked off all 6 Minias. We'll see what I can find out with this.
И сега? Ако използвате молива върху картата, защо не го подсказа директно това? Тук ли? Тук. То... И? Нещо трябва да стане ли? Не. Добре. Добре, не е това. Чакай де. Добре. Мога ли да трия? Да. Опа. Чакай, гумичка. Аха.
Those Mania stand-in stone things around the castle are in exactly the same formation as this constellation. But what have those portals got to do with it? And where's the entrance?
Аха, тези не мога да ги трябва вече. Да речем, че е тука. Не се пресакаха. Добре. Дай да видим какво се записахме. Това обаче защо ще е активно е? Аха, защото не съм цъкнал. А това? То пак това още... Добре. Добре, не.
A ladder.
Чакай, той... Така. Искаше да започна с менхирите. Вече видях няколко, мога да ги отбележа и ги отбелязахме. Значи те направо ти го казват какво е. То някъде друга е най-вероятно... Я чакай малко. То най-вероятно... Чакай назад. Мога ли да чертая върху цялата карта или само ето и? То най-вероятно... Гледай. Ние ще рисуваме тук цяла явно пентаграма, нещо ще стане. Добре. Няма проблеми. Само че тук какво става, мамо да е. Тук ми е много интересно как ще го разрешим този пъзъл. А тя е с бензин, аз не знам какво се опитвам изобщо да направя. Добре, чакай малко, картата, ако му кажа да дълбита долу. Чакай малко, къде е?
An empty pot. I'm guessing I have no idea what I can...
Чакай, не. Това не може да го вземем сега да... Не може. Интересинг. Дизел, бензин, всичките ще минават сега на електрически, защото свърши. Добре, мамка му. То е ясно, че трябва да ходим направо тук на фара. Това е пределно ясно. Тъй си мисля, Не знам защо си мисля, че...
One of the portals was here. It's been buried in the meantime, but there was one here. Perhaps that's what Victoria meant when she said entrance. I'll mark the ruins on my map.
Вярно. Че тя го спомена, това аз бях забрал. Руини.
Even if I know that there's a portal buried under all this rubble, I'd never get to it unless someone decides to build a...
Как бе, човек, лутни си ни, нали сме голям мъж с голяма дрелка. Айде, почвай да копаеш. Няма. Не е достатъчно голяма дрелката.
Even if I know that unless...
Той го отбеляза. Как го отбеляза, Наистина ли го отбеляза на картата? Да се надяваме. Я чакай малко, искам да видя какво отбелязал. Да, добре, отбелязал ги. Тук ще трябва да се вързваме. Добре. Ще ги търсим сега и насякъде. Айде да тръгваме да търсим. Тук няма повече. Нали? Оттъпкана пътека.
Aimlessly wander through the woods? No thanks.
Тука. Аха, това вече даже не е... Ето е, нали има умрял сега, тук
I'll
пак
go
му е
back
нещо.
down afterwards to wipe my fingerprints off.
Добре, и тук превода също не е точен. Добре. Предполагам, че в църквата ще има нещо, защото те, нали, църквата им, те са правили тези. Тъй, че няма как да няма. Към замъка, път. Добре, идеално. Тя, значи, играта директно... Тук дали има? Нещо. Чай да звъним на някой. Време ли е да звъним?
I've had enough of my future for today.
Ня.
Jones and Partners Chambers. Please leave your name and telephone.
Добре. Ня.
Nobody's answering.
Добре. Окей. Това най-вероятно е затворено. С ченгето може ли да говорим?
I'll just leave him.
Не. Тук отзаря обаче. С това някакво да говорим. Не. Не. Добре, остава само тук църквата. Както и предположих. В гробищата може би ще има нещо тук, където е... тя не е активна. Добре, дайте да говорим с попа, защото то не остана с кой друг да говорим, между другото. Няма да видим.
Hello, Father.
Adrian, welcome to my church.
Така.
Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
Мога ли да... Не.
Hello, Father.
Welcome.
Пак.
I'd like to hear the story.
My pleasure. Marcus struck down his brother Mordred in a duel in the year 1213. After that, in order to atone for his actions, he had this church built here on pagan ground. A few years later, he also built the academy, also on pagan ground. It was to be used to house the Gordon Chronicles, so the curse could be researched by academics. But the academy was completely burned to the ground in 1512.
Right.
Well, I basically...
Do you know if...
But perhaps...
Thank you, Father.
No.
Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
Бирата е там, че има само един хикс. Аз ако тръгна да чертая, къде да го оставя? Нали, примерно... Не бе. Чакай, бе. Така ли трябва да стане? What? Примерно. Нали, ама няма да е това. Чакай. Така, ако направим... Всъщност не. Нали е това така?
If you draw a line from the foundation stone through the site of the standing stone, you end up right by the academy. Even if I know that there's a portal buried under all this rubble, I'd never get to it. No one would.
Добре, дай тогава към църквата.
A link to the church passes through a site of a menhir. Maybe there's a portal there. I could ask the priest about
Добре. Ето, разкрихме още нещо.
Hello, Father.
Welcome back, Adrian.
Please have a closer look at the letter. It mentions a shade portal.
Yes, that's true. One big one and 5 small ones. But I've never heard about them before.
These 5 small ones probably mark the entrances that lead to the big one. The big one must be the shade portal that's described. Either way, I definitely think that one of the portals could be here under the church.
Under the church? But that's not... But no. That really could be possible. Samuel visited Marcus's grave back then, and what can I say? It collapsed. It's been inaccessible since then. I was very saddened by the incident, but if you think about it, that kind of thing can only collapse.
If there's a cavity underneath, bingo!
But doesn't it say in the letter that the entrances have been sealed, so that no one could ever reach the big portal? And that the Gordons must make sure that it stays that way.
Exactly. And I'm the last Gordon. After me, there's no one else to take care of it. That's why I've got to get rid of this whole thing for good.
Ама как ще намерим останалите?
Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
Тере. Дайте да запазим. И тук ще приключим това епизодче. Ще разберем къде са другите портали в следващия. Всички в YouTube, до нови срещи. Всичко най-добро. Чао!